Is that a song for me? Now we try to see the freeway to burn.
So I'm here with Dave and Scott from Current Swell, who are going to be playing Keloha at 6 o'clock here tonight. Guys, thanks for joining me. Welcome back to Kelowna. What I want to know right off the bat is, what's your fondest memory of Kelowna?
Fondest memory of Kelowna? Just, you know, I remember, this is kind of random, but we played ages ago with a band called Said the Whale, and when we were all kind of nobodies, and it was like us and Said the Whale, and we played at this place called Flashbacks, and we had lost our old bass player because he had to quit because he had a baby and he needed to step aside, but we got to play with our good friend Johnny from John and Roy, and he just played bass for us, and it was just like this fun little memory of like playing with such a good friend and just winging it and getting to know those other guys as well.
Nice.
I don't know.
What about you, man?
Mine would be I grew up skateboarding, and when I was younger, Kelowna was like one of the first skate parks, and so my dad knew how much I loved skateboarding. We did a little camping trip out here and just to skate the skate park, and it was a really, really good time because there's some really good camping around here, and that's probably my favorite memory of Kelowna.
Cool, very cool. Keloha 2013, that's where we are right now. When you guys saw the bill, you got the call to be on it. Who are you most stoked to kind of see and play with and share the stage with?
Well, seeing, yeah, I was just recalling it. I think MGMT, that was pretty awesome. It was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I like a lot of the bands that are, you know, BC based, like the Boom Booms as well. Who else? Shad, that's pretty cool. He's pretty awesome. Yeah. How are you?
We didn't play this festival last year, and we heard nothing but like amazing things from like friends and stuff. So I was just stoked. I was like, sweet, I heard that festival was really fun because it's got a beautiful location. But yeah, definitely MGMT and you know, like Humans and Golden Youth and all our friends. Kind of like yesterday was just backstage was just a big party with friends. It was really fun. So
making me jealous, man.
Yeah.
Well, I know that you guys have a huge following in South America. That's the next thing I want to talk about. I see you've got the Brazil sandals on there. What do you think it is that makes you so appealing to the guys down in Brazil and that area?
This is a common interview question, and yet the answer is always such a question. We wonder too, but I know how it all started. It's just the power of the internet, you know, and word of mouth. We originally got a song on a compilation disc that was just, each disc was stuffed in a surf magazine, like a Alma Surf or something, and so one song just sort of spread to, you know, a few thousand people, and then they told a few friends, and then eventually we had a fan base without knowing it. And when we finally went down, it was just the funniest thing to play a show headlining for like, you know, 3,000 to 5,000 people and never having been there. And they all know the words, but they know the words, but they don't really know English. So you're like, wow, you have studied our music.
You know, it's pretty funny as well, because I think the Boom Booms have a big following in Brazil as well. And I think, were they in the peak performance with you guys at the same time? So maybe there's a connection there somehow, who knows, right? But the next thing I want to ask you guys, do you have a tour van?
Yes, we do.
What's the name of it?
What did we name?
Lloyd. It's Lloyd.
What's the reasoning behind Lloyd? Who's going to answer that?
It was named after Lloyd from Entourage, because our last van, we figured out our last van was gay. We thought our van was gay because we'd be driving and be like, oh, we were young. We were like, oh, there's a hot girl, honk at her, and we'd never honk. And then every time we like needed to honk at like a guy or something, it's like beep, 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 and we're like, oh, man, I think our van is gay. So we just kept the tradition of having a gay van because Lloyd was a gay character in Entourage. So.
And Lance, the first van, was, there's nothing bad about gay people here at all. But Lance it was like Lance Bass.
Yeah.
So we had to keep the L and then keep it sort of like on that side of the sexual spectrum. So Lloyd from Entourage, who we were pretty into at the time, he got the call and he stepped up pretty good. It was good. It's also called like the Death Star because it's black. It's really black and like kind of dark looking, I guess. You feel free to edit all of this out. I mean, there's no reason to print any of this.
You guys have done you guys have done some pretty incredible stuff, from playing for like 45,000 people in Victoria for Canada Day. We've mentioned Brazil already, Winter Olympics, Peak Performance Project. I could go on and on. What's been the most surreal for you as a band, the one that's just been like, wow, we're doing this?
I'd probably say, I don't know, it always changes, but like the Brazil thing was pretty amazing because, you know, like, and we just did a recent tour to Europe, and it was really well attended. So I just think every other, you know, couple months there's something really new that is like really exciting for us. So it just keeps on growing.
Cool. Same for you, man?
Yeah, we have these moments all the time where we're like, you know, we'll get off after the show, get backstage, and Scott and I'll just like hug each other and be like, we're doing it, man. It's just happening right here. And we're like shaking each other's shoulders. Like, there's a lot of, because every couple weeks there's another little pinch me moment where you're like in Europe just discovering, oh crap, there's a fan base there too. And the more you go out and play, the more people are showing up, and it's just so rewarding. It's such a trip, because we really started the band with no intention of ever having more than a few people come to drink with us. You know, it was.
And you're approaching a decade now.
Yeah, I mean, 2005, our first record came out. We were writing music before that. It's so bizarre. We don't take it for granted for a second. Yeah. Like,
that's cool. Is there a Current Swell song that you guys think sums you up perfectly, that for people out there who maybe haven't heard you're like, listen to this one, this is the one track that sort of encapsulates what we're about?
Next one.
That is a good one.
Got one for that?
I don't know, like that's a really hard question, because like especially for our music, because this is our fourth record out, and we've kind of dabbled in all like different kinds of genres, so you know, it's like it's kind of hard to pick one that would be the one, but like, I don't know, do you have any in mind?
I know, like, if someone's like, oh, what song should I check out, and it's kind of like, and we put them back to back in the set, and there's like Cursed and there's For the Land. They're off two separate albums, but one's kind of like a upbeat lap slide. It's kind of like we call it like a barn burner kind of. It's really like pulses, and we never tire of playing it. And then For the Land, just because it's just, we all love playing it every time we play it, and it's kind of, it's like a story song. I sing a verse, then Scott sings a verse. We like tell the story together, and then there's elements where like our drummer really pops out, and our bass player really pops out, and like each instrument has its place, and there's like something magical to it that we, you know, both those songs I think kind of sum up where we are now, at least I'd say.
Cool.
I don't know. I'd agree.
Well, that sums you guys up. Who do you listen to outside of Current Swell? Like, who do you play in the tour van? Who do you blast when you party in?
We all have very different tastes in music. To be completely honest, not very different, but like, so we have a couple bands that we all will get down to, and Charles Bradley's definitely one of them right now, and Whitest Boy Alive, and what's another?
JJ Gray, we agreed on JJ Gray and Mofro the other day. That was good.
What's another one from Oregon? Tame Impala, obviously. Yeah, right now I can't get that out of my. It's like the only thing I listen to, really. But yeah, Blitz and Trapper is another really good one that we all have been vibing on.
Cool. What's next for you guys? Are you working on new material?
Always working on new material. Yeah, we're really excited. We're about to jump into the studio early in the fall, I guess, and we're kind of taking a little bit of a slower summer as last year, so we can kind of spend some more time on writing and arranging songs. But we're always writing, so yeah. But we're really excited to do another record.
Awesome. The last question I want to ask you is, when you do interviews, you obviously do a lot of them. Do you ever have a question where you're like, I wish that an interviewer would ask me this? They never ask about this. Is there one in mind?
That question right there is the question. I really know, just joking. I don't know, do you have?
I know it's more easy to think I wish they wouldn't ask. Generally, an interviewer will go through our bio and pick out like 4 pieces of information, and then be like, "I noticed your music is known as eclectic. What is describe? Follow up on that for me." And you're like, "Shh, eclectic? I don't know." Yeah. People are like, "What's Current Swell? Why Current Swell?" And it's always just, if we don't have a good story behind the answer, it's kind of just like a tedious question.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, people are,
We started making up different answers, like on an interview, it'd be like 3 interviews in one day. We'd give a different answer for just be like, let's just screw around with these guys.
Well, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Enjoy Keloha, and I'll see you performance later.
All right, thank
Right
you.
on.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thanks, man.